Why not let it fly? Oh! A double splash to start off the game. One for my team, one for the other team. If you like this theme, I got more of a snippet coming later on in the video. This game was a full team versus a full team. It was pretty good. They were using tactical insertions. That's why I'm using a tactical insertion. The whole team is doing it in domination. I gotta do it too. So this is part 2 of my summer Smoove move. Getting my own place. In episode 1, we left off with me bypassing getting a car to go for a place to live. So I was left with 2 choices. House or condo. And it's actually a really interesting debate. If you Google house versus condo, what should I get, house or a condo? You're gonna see a lot of different posts. Everybody's arguing which one is better. And this is something that I had to go through. I had to determine what I wanted to do because this decision basically says something about me. It says something about the lifestyle I want to live. It says something about my personality. Because if I go with a house, I'm more family oriented, more old fashioned. If I go with a condo, I'm more independent, upscale, living that fast life. And they both have their own advantages and disadvantages. Let's start with the condo. In a condo, you get to strategically locate yourself in a place of interest. With the condo, I could live in South Beach. I could live in downtown Miami. I could have a view from my balcony of the ocean. I could have a view of the skyline, of all the buildings. The view, that's something you can't get with a house. Unless, of course, you live on a mansion on a hill or something, but that will cost a few million. And I ain't a millionaire, baby. I can't get a LeBron James type house. I ain't a millionaire, baby. And with a condo, if anything breaks down, it's generally not you that has to fix anything. If a pipe breaks or something happens like that, it's not you that's fixing that. You don't have to do the lawn, all those maintenance things you don't have to take care of. Condos may even have better security than a house. At least the condos I was looking at, you can't even get into the building. You can't even get into the elevators without a key card. Only owners can get in there. Your car is in a nice secured garage with cameras. So what are the advantages of buying a house? Well, number 1, you can get more square footage and for cheaper. If you get a big house, if you want to match that square footage in a condo, you're going to have to pay a few million to get that same kind of square footage. With the house, you actually own land. So land is worth more, even though the selling price might be more for a condo. It depends on the location. Because if that condo is in downtown Miami, if it's in South Beach, a 1-bedroom condo to buy might cost more than a 3-bedroom house. I mean, that's just how it works. But at the same time, it's harder to sell a condo. Even though it's priced at a higher price point, it's going to be much harder to sell it. People want to buy houses more than they want to buy condos. And another benefit of getting a house over a condo is that there's no rules in the house. You can do whatever you want with your house. You can knock down walls. You can paint the outside of your house any color you want. You could do anything. You could get DirecTV. You could put a dish on your roof. That's something you can't do in a condo. In a condo, you can't get DirecTV. They're not gonna let you put a DirecTV dish on the building. They're not gonna let you do that in Miami. So all things considered, when I was looking to buy a new home over a year ago, I was leaning in the direction of a condo. I'm very picky. I know what I want. And most of the houses that are for sale, things are just outdated or just ugly. I'd look at a house and look at the front of the house and say, ew, I don't want to have to pull up and see that. I'd say, why did they make the driveway that way? Why did they do this? Why did they... Another snippet of the Splash song. More snippets will be coming out in future videos. Draper's at it again. Another theme song is on the horizon. What can I say? But back to the houses. A lot of the appliances are old. I saw appliances in some of these houses from the 1980s. So yeah, you can switch them out, but the kitchen designs and the bathroom designs, all this stuff is so outdated. Then meanwhile, as I'm looking at condos, everything is all upscale looking. They got new appliances, the walls, just everything looks modern. So the condo, that was what was on my mind. I'm thinking condo. And then of course, I'm listening to songs on the radio at clubs. I hear Drake saying, wrist bling got a kinda whoop on Biscayne. Wrist bling got a kinda whoop on Biscayne. Wrist bling got a kinda whoop on Biscayne. Condo, pick and roll at the club Rondo. So I'm thinking like, yo, a condo? That would be dope. So I'm looking at condos and I found one. I found a condo with a special balcony. The balcony was so big. The balcony was so big that you could put a trampoline on that bad boy. You could put a basketball court on that balcony. You could plant a mango tree on that balcony. It was so big because it was on the floor of the amenities. So they got all this extra land, and then it had this secret walkway to the pool area. So it's like you got your own walkway to the pool area. I mean, imagine the kind of parties you could throw out there. You could put a barbecue on that balcony. It was crazy. And I was showing the balcony to my friends, even a couple people on YouTube, and they were like, wow, look at that balcony. They were going crazy. So I was thinking for sure, I'm like, woo, it's a balcony. Forget the house, it's a balcony. I don't need that family house right now. I don't need that. I need that upscale downtown South Beach, nice view, wake up every morning. That's what I need. I need that. And at that time, I couldn't find any houses I wanted. I was looking all over the place, all online. And so I was really thinking condo. And I actually went to go see the condo in person. I went there and it looked even better to the human eye. The bathroom was modern. The building was modern. It was fancy. It felt upscale. There was chauffeurs. I was just amazed. So now the only thing that it comes down to is one, finding out about the financing, because financing for a condo it's even more strict than it is for a house, I guess, because they consider it to be a bigger risk. So I got to find out about the financing. Then I got to find out about the condo rules, because there's certain things you can't do there. You got to abide by certain rules. Of course, you're going to have neighbors that are going to be by your side. So I got to see if I'm really gonna be agreeing with those rules. And then I gotta find out about that maintenance fee. So after all of this information, will I still want this condo? Is that what I still want to do? And there's not enough time in this video to discuss that. I'd have to rush through it. There's no way. This game plays over, so that's coming up next in the next video.